Good morning from the heart of New York City. This is Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast dedicated to one thing to learn and apply to eat better daily. I'm your host, Angela Shurina from CreateYourself.today, your personal nutritionist, your personal health and wellness coach, your personal fat loss guru, your personal food detective, and just someone with a lot of passion for healthy eating, healthy food, everything in it and anything we put in our mouth and on our plates in order, hopefully, to feel better, look better, and perform better on all levels. That's what food is supposed to do for us, right? When we do it right and when we put the right kind of foods for our body, according to our lifestyle, genetics, our gender, and so many other personalized variables in our life. You know, I'm getting more and more convinced that diet is very, very personal when it comes to different foods and how it affects our health. That being said, there are some universal principles, of course. So, for example, artificial additives, artificial dyes, artificial sweeteners are not good for 99.94% of the people. They cause some problems, and for the rest of the points of percentage, those things just probably neutral in small amounts, but there is nothing good about them, and a lot of artificial flavorings, artificial sweeteners, artificial preservatives, you should avoid as much as possible if you ever want to feel what it feels like to be the healthiest, fittest, most robust, and performing the best on all levels human being. That being said, guys, I'm for the moment, for a few months back home in Siberia. If you didn't know, I am from Siberia, and I spent last 2 years in New York City, where I'm going to be coming back in probably 6 to 7 months. Till then, I'm in Siberia, and I'm still, of course, keto and low carb. And today I'm going to share with you some personal experience and thoughts on keto diet, on low carb diet, and this kind of diet and lifestyle, how to make it work in a healthy and simple way, no matter where you are. Like, I'm literally convinced that keto and low carb diet is the easiest diet to do if you want to maintain lean body mass, if you want to be healthy, if you want to perform the best mentally and physically. Like, it's the easiest diet to maintain if you learn how to do it right. So, for example, let's start with traveling that I experienced just a couple of days ago. I had to take 2 flights. One was 9.5 hours to Moscow, and then in Moscow I had to wait for another 10 hours at the airport for my next flight to Siberia, 3-hour flight. So a lot of flights, a lot of traveling. You know, I needed to eat. I didn't feel like fasting all the time. Like, it felt it was too much to fast for me at the moment. I felt I needed that energy. And I didn't really prepare anything. I didn't feel like taking with me a bunch of stuff. So I was just using what was available. So because the flight to Moscow was overnight flight, I didn't eat anything. I actually slept pretty well on the flight. So when they offered food, I didn't eat anything there, and I wouldn't eat anything there. But if, for example, I decided to have some food for some reason, well, if you decide to have some food, you know, when you're on a long flight, then I would just eat whatever meat, whatever animal products that they have there with minimum stuff added to them. Maybe there is even some cheese. And yes, it's not going to be the best quality that you want to be aiming for your life, but it's not going to be the worst either. What I would definitely avoid on airplanes and at the airports is any kind of added sugars, any kind of carbs, because you're going to be feeling sleepy and low on energy if you have a really long trip like that. And the last thing you need is to feel even sleepier and even less energy because of your blood sugar spikes caused by some carbs, some snacks, some sugar added to your coffee or tea, or if you decided to, I don't know, go for some other sugary concoction. I really felt really amazing having nothing but animal foods during the whole trip, and I didn't feel like I needed as much sleep. And when I arrived, my stomach was completely at peace, no problems whatsoever. What I would experience before when I took flights and ate some airplane and airport food with carbs, with sugars, and who knows what else added to my food. And then I had actually a pretty good breakfast and lunch/dinner in Moscow. In a couple of places, I chose two different places for breakfast and lunch and dinner. For breakfast, I asked to make 6-egg omelette. Nothing added to it, just eggs, 6 eggs, and cooked in olive oil. And I had my black coffee, and they even had some local cream, heavy cream, and I asked to give me that, and instead of adding to my coffee, I just drank it like that for my additional fats. And they were of a good quality, again, from local farms. So that was amazing breakfast. I feel super well nourished and not hungry at all, of course. And then for lunch/dinner, at one of the eateries there that was designed to be some kind of like traditional Russian food, I had beef steak and I had turkey leg. So 2 pieces of meat and nothing else. It was actually all made it was all grilled and nothing added to it again except for salt and some pepper. And that's it. That was my lunch/dinner. And again, I felt full and I felt amazing, full of energy, and my stomach was again completely at peace even after that 9-hour-long flight. So that's how I stayed keto through the whole this whole long trip. And then I took a flight and 3 hours I was back home. And at home I actually ate some coconut butter, a couple of eggs before going to bed. And that's it. Next morning I woke up refreshed, and then I went to the gym. And then for dinner I had some chicken hearts and livers, some greens, some eggs, some local butter, and that was it. So that's how I stayed keto, low carb, and I believe actually that's the easiest way to eat when you travel. Like almost at any place, you can find some eggs. You can ask to cook eggs. You can ask to cook some piece of meat. Any restaurant has some piece of food. You can order even fish and salmon, and yes, it's not like the best quality, but while traveling once in a while you can do that, and you're not gonna die, and you're gonna feel again full and nourished, and you're gonna get some nutrients that your body needs and will be able to travel to a destination without again feeling low on energy or hungry. So, and how am I doing keto right now back in Siberia is also very easy. And I believe again that low carb diet, keto diet, when you know how to do it properly, it's probably the easiest diet to do, because you can always find again some fish, some local fish, some good quality meat and chicken and poultry and whatever animal products are available, because in different parts of the world there are different animal products. Just if you stay there for long, try to find something local, something from farms, and that's about it. you see, animal products are good because animals actually accumulate nutrition. They eat grasses, they eat leaves, they eat all kinds of plant foods, and then they transform it through their digestion into proteins, amino acid, fats that have more nutrition, and when we eat them, we get more nutrients per calorie than we would if we even were able to digest things like grass, but we humans are not able to do that. So any kind of, again, of animal products, especially foods, animal foods that come from internal organs, especially livers and hearts, and even things like tongues. There are so many different organs of an animal that contain a lot of nutrition. And they're usually cheaper than, for example, steaks. So what I'm trying to say is, people say that keto diet, low carb diet is hard to maintain. But you see, I believe it's actually the easiest diet to maintain, because vegetables, fruits, all this, green stuff, it's not always available. Like in Siberia, for example, most of the time it's cold and there is nothing local, and we don't have greenhouse type of growing establishments. So if we get vegetables, they won't import it, and they're all of really the worst quality. And in many countries, except for like local vegetation, there is not so much vegetables and plant foods of good quality available, but animal foods, you can find good quality animal foods almost anywhere in the world. And plus, why I think it's the easiest diet to maintain is because you have to do fewer choices, you have to do less shopping, and what you can buy, you can recognize in almost any country. Animal products, eggs, you can find them anywhere. So it's kind of like familiar food for your stomach no matter where you go. What I also find like really kind of positive being in Siberia, where there is no Whole Foods nowhere around, is you have less temptations. When you're in countries like, Russia, and especially Siberia, and in other countries where you don't have all this fancy stuff, all these keto products and all these supplements, you get back to basics, and in most cases it's much better for your stomach. Like right now, I don't have the option of buying all these fancy supplements I used to buy, or protein shake or anything, but so what? Now I eat more whole foods, and I feel like it's actually working out better for my stomach. And it's this type of keto low carb diet is actually more natural, and I believe that any kind of organisms, any kind of body, any kind of human being will thrive much better on more of natural whole foods than you can find locally anywhere. So guys, keto, low carb, it saves you time because you have to make less food choices. It also keeps you full for longer. You don't have to think about your meals often. 1-2 meals is more than enough if you do the right kind of keto diet. So besides saving you time it gives you a lot of nutrition and lean body. You're gonna look and feel amazing if you structure your keto diet, low carb diet around whole animal foods, like good quality eggs, good quality meats, organ meats, good quality fatty fish with a lot of omega-3 fatty acids, maybe some dairy products, especially things like butter. I don't tolerate other dairy products really, like milk or even cheeses, but butter, it works really well for me. And these are my staple foods here too in Siberia. So for breakfast, I will have, now it's like 5 eggs or maybe 3 eggs and some sardines or some caviar that we have in abundance here. Then for a lunch/dinner around 2 o'clock, I would have some kind of either chicken or organ meats or local meats, or again, fish. Like there is a lot of fatty fish around. And sometimes I would have some herbs like parsley or dill. I might add some lettuce to kind of give some fiber to my gut box to make my digestion better and smoother. Sometimes I just feel like eating some leafy stuff. And here we even have coconut oil, and we have here 100% chocolate. So I add that to my diet too. But because it's not local, I kind of feel like those are more of additions, not my staple foods, because I also believe that the best foods for you is the foods from where you are right at the moment, because that's going to be the freshest and of the best quality. And yes, guys, I truly believe even though diet needs to be personalized, so the foods that work for me will not work for you, but I would definitely watch your carbs, and I definitely would not eat any processed, any added sugars. I definitely would take the grains out of your diet. But when it comes to low carb, you might eat more vegetables, especially root vegetables, starchy vegetables like baked sweet potatoes. You might eat more fruits. It all depends again on your lifestyle, on your genetics, and a lot of other different personal variables. You need to create your own personalized diet. But essentially, keto while traveling, keto anywhere, it's really easy to do. And to stay healthy, to stay lean and shredded, to maintain your energy levels, to maintain your health. And especially if you're somewhere where it's winter most of the time, it's also the easiest diet to maintain it. And it it reflects kind of, it has the same properties as fasting. That's what we are supposed to do when it's cold and there is naturally not supposed to be a lot of food around. Besides that, guys, keto, low carb for traveling and living in any country. I'm also today started my personalized diet experiment. Basically, I'm going to be measuring my blood sugar in response to different meals and different foods to create my personal map of good and bad foods, because even again on a low carb, on keto diet, not all foods work for everyone. And the way you know that food doesn't work for you is when your blood sugar spikes after eating it more than it should after a meal and doesn't go back to normal, to your base blood sugar after 2 hours. That means that food, no matter if it's low carb, if it's keto, whatever, that means that food doesn't work for you particularly. So I'm doing this experiment starting today, and the results will be next Monday. I'm going to be using the app designed by the authors of the book, The Personalized Diet. And let's see what happens. By the way, doing the measurements and, by needles in my finger, with modern devices, it actually feels like nothing. So if you're kind of like hesitating because of that, don't be afraid of that, because it feels literally like nothing. And that's about it for today, guys. If you have any questions about keto while traveling, keto in some other country, shoot me an email and I will give you advice what you can do on keto diet, no matter where you are, what your lifestyle like. And then also, if you have any questions about personalized diet, my latest blog on Create Yourself That Today is all about that. Check that out, Create Yourself That Today. And again, if you have any questions, you can shoot me email. And thank you for listening, guys. Have an awesome week. Have an awesome Monday. Start some new experiment, because experiments are always fun. They make you learn more about yourself, and self-awareness, self-knowledge is probably the most important thing that you need to do to improve, to work on in your life, so you live your life better. And yeah, thank you for listening. Share, rate me on iTunes, and till next time, eat better daily.